You want me to put that on my Tudor?
Harry's wife, South Park, Barbara Streisand Effect. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. You may be familiar with the Streisand Effect. If you're not, I'll give you a quick run-through. The Streisand Effect is the way in which attempts to hide, remove, or censor information can lead to the unintended consequence of increasing awareness of that information. It's named after American singer and actress Barbara Streisand, whose attempt to suppress the California Coastal Record Project's photograph of her clifftop residence in Malibu, California, taken to document Californian coastal erosion, inadvertently drew greater attention to the photograph in 2003. Attempts to suppress information are often made through cease and desist letters, but instead of being suppressed, the information receives extensive publicity, as well as media extensions such as videos and spoof songs, which can be mirrored on the internet or distributed on file-sharing networks. In addition, seeking or obtaining an injunction to prohibit something from being published or remove something that is already published can lead to increased publicity of the published work. The Streisand Effect is an example of psychological reactance, wherein once people are aware that some information is being kept from them, they are significantly more motivated to access and spread that information. In 2003, American singer and actress Barbara Streisand sued photographer Kenneth Edelman and Pictopia.com for US $50 million for violation of privacy. The lawsuit sought to remove image 3850, an aerial photograph in which Streisand's mansion was visible from the publicly available California Coastal Records Project of 12,000 California coastline photographs documenting coastal erosion and intended to influence government policymakers. The lawsuit was dismissed, and Streisand was ordered to pay Edelman's $177,000 legal fees. Image 3850 had been downloaded only 6 times prior to Streisand's lawsuit, 2 of those being by Streisand's attorneys. Public awareness of the case led to more than 420,000 people visiting the site over the following month. 2 years later, Mike Masnick of TechDirt named the effect after the Streisand incident when writing about Markle Beach Ocean Resort's takedown notice to urinal.net, a site dedicated to photographs of urinals, over its use of the resort's name. How long is it going to take before lawyers realize that the simple act of trying to repress something they don't like online is likely to make it so that something that most people would never ever see, like a photo of a urinal in some random beach resort, is now seen by many more people? Let's call it the Streisand Effect. There are many other examples of this. In November 2007, Tunisia blocked access to YouTube and Dailymotion after material was posted depicting Tunisian political prisoners. Activists and their supporters then started to link the location of then-President Zain El Abidine Ben Ali's palace on Google Earth to videos about civil liberties in general. The Economist said this turned a low-key human rights story into a fashionable global campaign. The French intelligence agency DCRI's attempt to delete the French Wikipedia article about the military radio station of Pierre-sur-Haute resulted in the restored article temporarily becoming the most viewed page on the French Wikipedia. A 2013 libel suit by Theodore Katsanevis against a Greek Wikipedia editor resulted in members of the project bringing the story to the attention of journalists. In 2017, the government of South Africa stated their intention to ban the book, The President's Keepers, detailing corruption within the government of then-President Jacob Zuma. This resulted in sales of the book skyrocketing dramatically, and it sold out within 24 hours before the ban was to be put into effect. This made the book a national bestseller and led to multiple reprints. There are many instances of this. For example, in October 2020, the New York Post published emails from a laptop owned by Hunter Biden, the son of Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden, detailing an alleged corruption scheme. Twitter blocked the story from their platform and locked the accounts of those who shared a link to the article. including the New York Post's own Twitter account, and White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany, among others. Researchers at MIT cited the increase of 5.5 thousand shares every 15 minutes to about 10,000 shares shortly after Twitter censored the story, as evidence of the Streisand Effect, nearly doubling the attention the story received. And thus we see the Streisand Effect applying to Harry and Harry's wife. By threatening to go legal in terms of suppressing the episode, perhaps to have it taken off air so that it can't be repeated and viewed again, and possibly seeking damages, along with her reaction of whinging about it all, so means that more people want to go and watch it. And therefore, many people who wouldn't have an interest in Harry and Harry's wife think, what's all this? They're trying to stop South Park. I like that programme, and I used to watch it. Let me go and see what all the fuss is about. Other people may never have watched South Park and have thought, what's this? They're trying to censor. I don't like that. Freedom of speech, etc. I'm now going to go and watch the episode to see what all the brouhaha is about. And of course, this is the collateral consequences of the mid-range narcissism of Harry's wife. The fact is that this episode has amounted to a massive threat to her control because it's been widely viewed and then widely reported upon. Therefore, her narcissism needs to compel her to do something about it. The most applicable response would have been just to take it on the chin, assert control by remaining in a position of withdrawal, in her own mind jettison it, perhaps mutter about it to Prince Harry, and then move on with something else. However, her narcissism has selected the means of assertion of control by threatening legal action and then letting everybody know that she's extremely upset by it. This, of course, gets her the control that she wants, but as always with her mid-range narcissism, results in a collateral consequence. Namely, these responses to it annoy people all the more, both in terms of you're trying to censor and suppress, and also you're being a big crybaby about it, and that's pathetic. Therefore, it attracts more criticism, more comment, and fresh eyes coming to it as a consequence of the way that she has responded. And therefore, she makes the problem even bigger for herself. Indeed, you yourselves will have seen the various reaction across social media platforms. And just to give you a taste from another one, this comes from patriots.win, where they have all commented about the South Park episode and the fact that Harry's wife is upset and overwhelmed by her depiction on South Park as a consequence of the thread being titled "Fuck This Cunt," which gives you a pretty strong indication of what they think about her. Here's just a flavour of some of the comments which have invariably been generated by the Streisand Effect. Cry harder, skank. Her royal skankness to you, peasant. She can go rub on Harry's blue penis if she's upset. She doesn't get it that the US was done with the royals in 1776. We don't give a shit about her and her husband. Wonder what she did that was so good to him. Toss his salad, let him use all 3 inputs. She seems like a 3-input type of gal too. But what colour are her panties? I must know what size brassiere she wears. What is the name of the tampon she uses? We must know these things, said no one, ever. She never shuts the fuck up. That dumbass married the worst possible woman. She has no idea what we're saying about her. I'd go with South Park if I was her. They really think we like them? Hysterical. She's doing the thing they made fun of her for doing in the South Park episode, trying to get attention. She could have just kept her mouth shut and got over it. But no, she had to play the victim card and try and get some publicity out of it. No response whatsoever would probably suffice. It's the 26th season of an adult cartoon. The correct response to being roasted by South Park is to say nothing, or say that it's hilarious and you loved it. While her reflex to open her mouth may be unavoidable, she could at least develop a coping mechanism to prevent words from coming out of it. I'll bet Harry's wife keeps that mouth shut when she and Harry are in the bedroom. Well, she's melanin enhanced, so that means she's automatically oppressed, no matter how much money or fame or royalty she has. It's her Cumhammer approved brand. Then she should go back to Cumhammer and change it. You can say cunt, this is the internet. If we're going to speak proper English, then cunt would refer to Prince Harry Bluetip Windsor, not that shitty actress that made me stop watching Suits. I stopped because of her too. Her acting was too stinky. It broke me out of the feeling that I was immersed in watching an interesting drama. Those are just a few of the scathing comments upon patriots.win on that relevant thread, and is demonstrative of how Harry's wife, through the Streisand Effect, is making it worse for herself. More people commenting about it, the comments being adverse and increasingly scathing, not only in terms of the fact that they deserve the coverage, but also now her reaction to it, which of course will be covered by mainstream media also, prompting yet more response. Of course, lots of fuel for Harry's wife, but it's all challenge fuel, and there is a collateral consequence of the more she attempts to assert control, the greater the collateral consequences that she creates, all because her narcissism operates at a mid-range level and essentially isn't fit for purpose with regard to the position that she's got herself into. A further example of her narcissism in action, all arising out of the South Park episode. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.